Hello guys, my name is Niki, I live in St. Petersburg, Russia, and today we're going to talk about how was it like growing up in Russia, somewhere in a huge Siberian city. Yay! I'm doing this live stream, I also see what you guys will be writing in the live chat, so hi everyone, let me know where you're from and let me know if you can hear me well, because it is the very first time when I have such a setup of my phone connected to computer and microphone connected to that too, so I want to know for sure that everything is alright. Yay, let me know guys if everything is alright and we continue with the story. Yes, I can, hi from Germany, alright, can hear you fine. Really happy to see these messages. Well guys, so the structure of this live stream goes really simple. First, I have something to share. I have some story from me as a kid growing up in the city of Omsk. Omsk is a huge city in Siberia. It's the place where I was born, it's the place where I spent my first 19 years of my life. After that, I'm going to reply to some questions I got from Instagram right today. Before going live, I asked people in the stories about what kind of stuff would they like to know, what would like me to answer, and I took these questions to answer during this live stream. And after that, I'll pay more attention to your questions during live stream from the live chat. So, this simple. Okay, so I see somebody from Canada, from Finland, from Ohio is here, somebody from England and Sweden. I'm really glad to have such an international community, people basically around the entire world, and I hope this video, guys, will make you understand a little bit more what is a typical, what is an ordinary Russian person is like, and what kind of childhood, what kind of life we had when I was a kid. Okay, so basically, once again, my name is Niki. I am 27 years old. I was born in the city of Omsk. That is a really huge city in Siberia, having more than 1 million of population there. So I think Omsk is even in top 10 Russian cities by its population, not by its development, but by population. So I was born in 1994, but I would call myself a 2000s kid because what I can remember, the memories I have, most of them are coming to the period from 2000, 2001 to 2010, me being a kid, then being a teenager. I have some memories about what happened long time ago when I was like 3 years old, 4 years old, but it's very, very vague, like I cannot remember much stuff about that. Yeah. So basically, when I was a kid, I was born in a very, very poor time. 90s, 1994 in Russia is actually one of the poorest time that any of my friends, that any of friends of my parents' age experienced. When I was born, we barely had, my family, my mom and dad, they barely had any money to support me well. And I think we had this situation for next 10 years when I was a kid. So I think it will be fair enough to say that I'm coming from a poor family from somewhere in Siberia, Russia. I remember perfectly the time when my mom was struggling to do her work to earn money to support me as the only kid for her. And I remember me being quite, how to say, not really aware of what's going on. And I think that is similar to many, to like hundreds of thousands, millions of Russian families. Parents try to keep kids away from the realities of 90s, from the realities of poor time, of bad times. And actually me as a kid, I don't remember much stuff about the cruel reality. Everything what was around me, I was actually alright as a kid. When I was 5 years old, it was a terrible time in Russia. But a 5-year-old kid, I was having fun with my friends and I didn't know what's going on. When I was 10, again, it was like time in Russia that was not too bad. It's like 2003, 2004. But I can't remember much because, again, I was surrounded by my friends and I didn't know what's going on in my country. In 2007, when I actually became a teenager, it was a bit better in terms of what's going on in the country. Like 2007, 2006, 2005, this was such a good time for Russia, for Russian people in general. And I didn't really care much about what's going around me because everything seemed to be all right. Like my friends, like my family finally got some resources. Like I couldn't call my family to be poor anymore starting from that time, 2000, like 3, 4, 5. But anyways, a little attention to the chat. I see Leather Kid sending a super thanks. Thank you, Leather Kid. I actually saw you at the live stream of Sergey, Crazy Russian Sergey. Hi, Leo. Thank you so much for sending the super thanks, the first one in this live. Yay. So right now I don't really pay much attention to the live chat, but feel free to chat over there. I'll have a look a bit later after sharing my story. So basically, when I was a kid, I repeat myself over and over again, that was not the best time in Russia. 90th, 1999, it was crazy time. And that time I was just a young kid going to school. Basically, when I was 6 years old, 2000 year, I went to the first class, to the first grade of school, and spent there my 11 years at an ordinary Siberian school, which was like not the best experience of my life, but after talking to some of my Russian friends, I actually realized that my school is quite good. My school was quite good in terms of communication with my classmates and with teachers. I didn't get any troubles there, but also I didn't get any really good results after going to my school. I think I'll tell much more about that when I'll reply to all the questions I prepared today. And you guys, if you have any questions, I'll also have time for them. But for now, I just share the general outline of what was life like over there. When I was in my primary school, my mom was working at an art school, struggling to earn some money. My father was also trying to earn money, and he kind of did it successfully. And as a result, I was just taking care to play with my friends, not knowing what's life like around me. I was living such kind of childhood bubble, as I think most of kids actually did. My childhood was pretty normal. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good. It was, I would say, it is pretty neutral, and it is the reason why I'm actually such kind of like maybe not very emotional person, or maybe very calm person, as you can see from my videos earlier, if you watched any. I see question from Dima from Russia. Hey Dima. Niki born in 1994. Yeah, exactly. So I was born in 1994. 2000, I was 6 years old when I went to school. I spent there like long 11 years of my life that I was quite ignorant about everything that was happening around me. And it is such an interesting actually topic to talk about, because before today I didn't really think about that much. But the reason why I go doing this live stream is actually I watched a video from Roman No Fuckers, and his last video was talking exactly about the things that I'm talking now, about what was life like in Russia when we were kids. And when I was a kid, I was quite ignorant about what's going on around me, and only now learn actually all the BS happening that time in my country. So I consider my parents doing a really good job at hiding the cruelty, the bad part of Russian reality from me when I was a kid. Подарок от подруга Alexis Dorko. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate. You are as calm as a cucumber. Well, if that is a foreign saying, I'll take it. I don't know what does it actually mean, calm as a cucumber, but I'll take it. I'll say it's a cold-blooded. Cold-blooded as fish. Yeah. So, the best time in Russian life, I think, in modern Russian life was like the year of 2005, 2007, and I perfectly remember how things got better at my family, because when I was a kid, normal time for me was having a really poor dinner with like I don't know, a piece of bread with something, or some noodles, or macaroni, how we say that in Russian. And that wasn't really pleasant experience, but I didn't care about that much because I didn't know a different thing. Every single time when I go home right now, I actually have such flashbacks from that time of my childhood. Every single time when I have my grandmother's, my babushka's food, I have an opinion. It's like a feeling that our grandmothers, at least my grandmother, she was uh, taught, or she was taught by the reality around her, not to feed me and feed my family in a delicious way, cooking tasty food. No, she was cooking food to actually make us feel not hungry. And I think that is something that is, I wouldn't say unique to Russia, but it might be quite different from to somebody who grow up in countries in European countries or somewhere in the States. Um, every single time when I come back home now, my grandmother still cooks food the way to make me feel not hungry, and she tries to make it tasty, and she actually got much better at cooking. But I remember when I was a kid, it was totally different. It is actually quite sad thing to talk to me about. Yeah, but then in 2005, 7, everything was getting much better in Russia, and I remember the first time going abroad when I was a kid in 2003. It was my first travel, my first trip to Turkey with my father and with my stepmom. In 2007, it was my first trip to Egypt, to all-inclusive hotel with my grandmother, with my babushka, and it was clearly a sign that kind of regular Russian people get better financially, that we can afford doing this, and it's not only subjectively from me and my family. I think it's fair enough to say about like majority of normal families in Russia. In 2006, maybe 2008, I also visited Crimea. That time it was Ukraine, and I had actually 2 trips to Crimea, and it was so beautiful. I enjoyed that trip so much, and since then I haven't been there yet. Yeah, and basically after 2007, we got slightly like much more difference in life in Russia, and that's the time when perhaps the best time in history of modern Russia, 2007, got on the decline again. I remember myself being a high school student, not really taking care about what's going on around me because I was too involved into gaming, into playing computer games. And only by the time when I became a student and started to studying political science, I realized what kind of things happening in my country, and then I actually left Russia for quite a long amount of time. I think we also come back to it when I'll reply to some of your questions. So that is the basic outline of how my life, how my childhood was like in Russia. Once again, really brief. I was born in 1994, and first 10 years of my life, it was really poor time for Russians, also my family. When I was around 10 in 2003, from 2002 maybe to 2007, it was good time. It was good time for majority of Russians in terms of money, in terms of believing into a brighter future. Perhaps that's why many people actually supported Putin that time, because Russia was really developing into good direction. And after that, after 2008, after 2010, we started to have the decline, and after 2014, that decline, it was just going down when people stopped to believe that we actually would have a really bright future here in Russia. It's my personal perspective about that. Yay. Oh, I see Inside Russia joined the chat. Привет, Konstantin. And I see quite a lot of folks over here. 600 people. Guys, hello from St. Petersburg, Russia. I'm glad you're staying here and basically taking your time and taking a care to hear what a just random, ordinary Russian guy has to tell you. Well, thank you for being here. I see Jesse says that you, Niki, look younger if you don't mind me saying. Well, I am looking younger, perhaps, like, would you guess that I'm 27 years old? But I am, soon turning out 28. John Claude Ben. Oh, hi. Hi, John Claude. Thanks, Niki, for your story. Appreciate it. It's my pleasure to actually share such kind of things with you guys, because what kind of world we live in where a random guy can go online and basically share such stuff and somebody will actually care to listen? Rece Gray, hey, thank you for your super thanks. Rece says, hello from Canada. Niki, it's good of you to share your story and your opinions. Hearing from good Russian people like you helps open the hearts of others. Stay safe and let's hope for peace. Thank you so much, Rece. Hope for peace. Staying here, basically talking this stuff. Whew, that was the first part of the live, sharing a bit of my story. Now let's go a little bit more into details. Once again, I had some questions that I was asking people, my Instagram followers and also my Telegram followers. Let's have a look what people asked. It will be completely random. I didn't order them into 1, 2, 3. I just downloaded some of the questions, I screenshotted it and put into this live stream, and I hope you actually could see it well. I think I just did it and you can see what exactly there is on my screen. So the first question is, what's your favorite part about having grown up in Russia, and what was the worst? So for me, the best part of growing up in Russia, I wouldn't say there's the best part. Honestly, if I try to think, what if I grow up somewhere, let's say in Spain? Or what if I grow up in Thailand? Or in Egypt? Or in USA? What kind of stuff would I be missing from growing up in Russia? Perhaps none? My childhood was alright. I actually have nothing bad to say about it personally. I enjoyed watching cartoons and playing computer games, playing with my friends and actually studying a little bit. So it was alright. I don't have any favorite thing to mention though. Literally, no. How about the worst thing while growing up in Russia? I have a lot. Like, I think I will easily count to 5 or even to 10 mentioning the worst things. But the first one is the conditions that I and like millions of Russian people were into when we were kids. The time when I was growing up as a kid, like the first 7, 8 years of my life, it was quite poor time for Russians. I would say that is the worst part. Our parents, they cared not only to somehow educate us, they had not enough time for taking care about us emotionally, but a lot of parents were struggling to actually feed us, to give us new clothes, winter clothes, and to basically they tried their best to somehow support a living. It was really poor time in Russia. I would call it to be the worst thing from my childhood here. If I was growing up, let's say, in France, in UK, even in China, or somewhere like, I don't know, Hong Kong, whatever it is, Brazil, it might be very different in a better side, although I'm not 100% sure, of course. Niki was growing up in the hardest time. I actually don't know if I was growing up in the hardest time, Konstantin. I think if I were like 3 or 4 years older, that would be the hardest time in my opinion. Like, I have friends who were born in 89, 1989, 1990. I think these people who had the hardest childhood compared to like all kids in modern Russia. I'm not sure how old you are, Konstantin, but I think your time in 90s, it also was quite challenging for you. At least it was for my parents. Let's go to the next question, and that is, were you bullied? It's actually good part of my childhood. I was not bullied. I was a fat kid. Like, damn, I was fat, guys. Right now you can see me sitting here, 27 years old, like with these cheeks, like not too fat. Okay, not fat at all. I'm like, how heavy am I? I think I'm like 67 kilograms, which is like alright, maybe even a little bit not enough. I can get even heavier and become healthier. But when I was a kid, I was like 95 kg, 100 kilograms. I was like really huge kid by really fat one by the end of my high school. And I say fat very subjectively, of course, because I compare myself right now and myself that time. It was like I was 50% heavier than I am now right now. So I was not bullied by that. I was never bullied by my weight. I was never bullied for like anything. I didn't smoke. I was not a popular kid. I was just alright about studying and grades. I actually had quite good marks, good grades at school. I was just alright. There was there were some reasons to bully me for sure. Sometimes people bully others even without any reasons, right? But I was never bullied in my life at school, which is a good thing. When Lisa asks me like, Niki, can you share something from your school time? When I told her the first time, she's like, what? Like, you weren't bullied? Like, it's so different from what she had at school. It's my reality is so different from the reality of Lisa. She was growing up in Russian Far East, so perhaps it's very subjective. Yeah. um, in my classroom, none of people were really bullied. Not just me, none of. Although, of course, we were like having some kind of jokes to each other. Um, we also didn't have really supportive community. I wouldn't say that we were a great class. I don't really have any friends among my classmates right now. I have only one left that I sometimes talk to. So it wasn't really great, it wasn't any bad. And no, I was not bullied, but it's very subjective because I know many friends of mine, they actually were bullied or they were the bullies, apparently. Terry Hildebrand, thank you so much for your super sticker. Thank you for your support. Yay. So, oh, somebody says like, you are 27? I thought you were 19. I was 19 8 years ago. Yay. So continue. Next question is, what did your parents/grandparents tell you about living under communism? So I don't know how popular that was for parents to talk about communism, but I actually wasn't told anything. I was studying some stuff at school about communism, about the foreign history too, but I wasn't told anything from my parents about communism. I clearly know that they don't like the communism stuff, and actually my father would like to live in modern Russia. My mother would like to live in modern Russia, and even some of my grandparents would prefer not Soviet times but modern Russian times because we basically got more rather than we lost. But I wasn't talking much about communism stuff or old history or basically old style of living with my parents or grandparents. There was a time when I talked to my granny about this, but it was like one story personal about her job and about her life way. But I didn't really learn a lot about that, and it happened like just a few years ago. So in my family, it was not popular topic to talk about the Soviet time and so on. Diana Vorny, thank you so much for your super sticker, as well as Eric. Eric, thank you so much. Eric actually says, thank you for the videos, stay positive and safe. You guys stay positive and safe too. 825 people, 830 people who watch me now, stay safe please, and people who watch it in recording, you too, like, really appreciate you being here. Well, let's go to the next question, and it is exactly favorite book as a kid. There is a great benefit, guys, of being born in Russia in 1994. It meant that when I was in the age when I was just starting to read, there was an amazing book of Harry Potter just released. At least that's what I remember. About 1999, 2000, maybe a little bit earlier. I can't really remember the exact age. But when I was a kid, the very first book I started to read myself was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. And since then, I loved Harry Potter. It was my favorite book ever. I had great fun reading it myself. My mom was actually reading it for me too, and it was such a great time for me. Like, Harry Potter fans, if you are here, I'm one of you. Like, I like Harry Potter. Actually, I like even one of fan fictions for Harry Potter more. That is Harry Potter and the Methods of Rationality by Eliezer Yudkowsky. It is an amazing fan fiction, the best one for Harry Potter I ever read. Yeah, yeah. What house are you, Niki? Ravenclaw? I think I would go to Hufflepuff or maybe Slytherin. Depends what I will choose in the very beginning when I was a kid. Yeah. Inside Russia, Konstantin. I love this life. What a great topic. I want to do that about me growing up in the USSR if you don't mind. I will email. Yes, Konstantin, please email me about that. And actually, I have no idea how old you are. I guess you spent a little bit more time than I did in Soviet Union. So it will be really interesting for me to hear about that because, like, I don't really know much about that time, honestly. TME, thank you so much for the super sticker. Love your channel, Niki, from Roswell, GA. Thank you so much for your support. Like, I really appreciate. Well, next question is, what was TV like, and did you grow up with cable or air TV? So I grew up with a cable TV, like most of Russian neighborhoods. I simply had a cable into my TV, and I watched Nickelodeon a lot. Once again, guys, if here are any Nickelodeon lovers, yes, in Russia we had it. I remember the time waking up 7:30 a.m., going to school at 8:30 a.m., and that 1 hour was exactly for watching Nickelodeon in between having breakfast and brushing my face and teeth. So I loved that a lot. We had a lot of great things like Pokemons, like I actually don't know how to translate or how to say some movies, some cartoons name in English, but most of the things that you guys had on your Nickelodeon, if you had it, I had it too. Like, no matter what country you're from, right? So the TV was nice. Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon, yes, that's funny. Is your neighborhood safe? Interesting question. I think that I was growing up in relatively safe neighborhood. My parents didn't care much about me going around. I was like, I could go anywhere around my neighborhood. And one time when I was a kid, I think the first grade at school, I actually left like 10 kilometers away from my home by foot, on foot, and came back only at night. Police took me back home because my parents actually were searching for me that time, and nothing bad happened to me. That's like crazy traveling story, my first great adventure when I was 6 years old. Yeah, it was not solo, it was two of us. So neighborhood was quite safe, and I would consider my neighborhood being quite safe even right now. It's just a sleeping district in city of Omsk, nothing special over there. I actually made a vlog about that about half a year ago. I came back home to see my family, and I filmed my neighborhood, the buildings I was growing up, my school too, and you can find that in my old videos. It's like, you just have a look. I think it's quite interesting. Yeah. Jana, thank you so much for your support. Just sending 10 American dollars without saying nothing. Thank you so much for your support. Yay. A question from Simon. Was the trip to Egypt the first or only trip of your grandmother? I think that was not the first, not the only. I think my grandmother, she has been to like not too many places, but a little bit. She traveled a little bit around Soviet Union as I know. I'm not totally sure where exactly she was there, but it was the only trip that we took together. I never traveled with my grandmother after that, just me and her. And it's actually just one of my grandmothers. I had like 3, 4 of them now. All right. So next question is: did you grow up going to church or practice a religion? Do most Russians? So, a lot of people in Russia are religious, they're Christians. A lot of people in Russia also Muslims. But my family is like, some of my families are a little bit religious, or they think they are religious. But I was never taken to a church when I was a teenager or a kid, although I have a godmother, and my family and my godmother, they actually took me to church when I was a kid to do some kind of ritual. I don't know how to say that in English, but basically they had this kind of ritual. I don't know, baptism, whatever it is. I have no idea how to translate it and don't know how to explain it, but it was the only religious things that I did in my life. I am not a religious person. People around me are not religious. None of my friends go to church. And I think it's such kind of trend in Russia. Yes, we do have a lot of religious people, but most of people I actually get in touch to, especially most of my friends, maybe even all of my friends, we are non-believers. And yet, every single one of my friends are good people. Yay. Baptism, yes, Nicholas, perhaps that's the word I wanted to use, baptism. I gotta Google and learn how to say that in English next time. Lynn Gordon says, I hit the like button too. It helps, Niki. Guys, do that. Hit the like button right now. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, so I can have less struggle with making videos for you. Alright, by the way, 850 people. Hello from St. Petersburg, Russia. Okay, an interesting question from Diana Dove. Are any religion forbidden in Russia? I actually don't know if we have any forbidden religions commonly. I honestly don't know. I didn't try even to learn about that. I know that there are places in Russia where Christianity, that's a hard word to pronounce. Christian people live together with Muslim people. It's not a rare thing to see a husband being a Muslim or a wife being a Muslim and her partner being a Christian. It's like, it's all right in Russia. I actually have a couple of friends having exactly this situation. Rece Great, thank you for another donation, thank you so much. Rece asks, did Russia ever have a Pokemon crazy? It was huge in Canada. Yes, it was huge in Russia too. And we actually had some kind of, I don't know, some kind of little things, little plastic circles, very thin ones, that we played like this. We called them chips. And I was very good at playing them. Like, really very good. Info from inside Russia. Yes, some religions are forbidden in Russia. I don't know how to pronounce that. Iowa Witnesses. Yes, I remember that, and many others. All right, so there are definitely some. I was just not really aware about that. Next question is: do you remember Soviet toilet paper, or are you too young? I have to ask, Konstantin. That is a great time for you to stay here on my live. So, question for you: Набережные Челны and Soviet toilet paper, are they any different or not? Because I have no idea what is like Soviet toilet paper like, but I know Набережные Челны, it's one of the cheapest, one of the worst toilet papers in Russia. Every single Russian, I guess, knows it, at least of my age. And I never use it anymore, like I never buy it. It was like a terrible experience of using that. I'm sorry guys for such details, it's terrible. But a lot of people in Russia actually use it even now. When I was back to my home 1 year ago, I saw that my mother and my grandmother were using Набережные Челны toilet paper. That is like really bad one. And I was like, really? I bought some good one and threw away the Набережные Челны one. And now every single time when I come back home, they actually use a good one. So, I don't know, let's see if Inside Russia will reply anything about the comparison about Soviet toilet paper and Набережные Челны, which we can have now. But I think there is no big difference between that. Isa Sakisen, thank you so much for your super thanks. Question from him: do you see better free speech future in Russia? I don't see it. Like, at least in a few years, in the next few years, I don't see any hope of getting like better free speech in Russia. And only maybe in like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, maybe, hopefully. But I'm not positive about that. Inside Russia says, I was introduced to toilet paper at age of 11 in late 80s. I always use newspapers. From Nabережные Челны would be a godsend back then. Oh god. Alright. Alright. Konstantin, if you do a live stream talking about such minor details, it will be super interesting to hear, because it's something I never talk to my relatives. Like, wow. Alright. Alright. So, next question comes from... You must tell them about 2007. Oh, it's actually my friend, my real-life friend from Tomsk, which is another big city in Siberia. And 2007. Personally, I don't remember myself doing anything useful in 2007. I was studying at high school. And in Russia at that time, I already told about that. It was good time for Russia. Russian ruble being quite stable, being like really good exchange rate to dollars. People thinking positively about the future, internet going viral in Russia, like literally, maybe it is that time, maybe 2006 or 2007, when I got my computer internet working well in Russia. So it was like really great time. 2007, me, 13 years old, kid, teenager, playing computer games, reading books, studying, and not knowing what is gonna happen like 10 years after that. Alright. Military service. Not like a question, but I'll share a little bit. So, in Russia, military service is mandatory for every healthy man, and there are some exceptions by law that having a bad health or maybe having a family members that you have to support, but most people, they have to go to army, they have to serve. First it was for many years, then it was for 2 years when I was a school student, and and after that it was switched only to 1 year, and right now it's still remaining 1 year, and every single year like couple of 100,000 people go to serve in army, and I don't like this fact. I don't like the fact that we have a mandatory army service. I think it should be different. Like, people shouldn't be scared to spend time in army, or shouldn't be taken there, but they should want to go there to actually learn more skills, to earn money, to protect the country, and so on, which is not like this in Russia right now. I have a lot of friends who avoided going to army. One of the recent cases this year, I have one of my friends who went to a psycho hospital to stay there for 2 weeks and to have a special paper to show to army that he actually cannot go to army. It worked. So how crazy it is, right? I also have some friends who tried to avoid going to army by studying more, or by leaving country, or by having kids or something like that. It worked for them. I have friends who went to army and they didn't like the experience. I think if I ask my friends, maybe 1 out of 10 would actually say that they enjoyed it. Most of them, maybe even bigger percentage, rather than just 90%, maybe even bigger, would say it was a waste of time, they didn't learn anything, it was useless for them. Yeah. It's actually a very sad fact to say about Russian army. Honestly, it should be a good place for people to learn something, to become better people, to become skilled people, to become people who actually love their country and do something to protect it. But right now, I don't think it's true about our Leather Kid. Thank you so much for your support. I figured if YouTube goes for you, what do you mean? What do you mean? I don't understand that. But thank you so much for your super thanks. Yeah, I think Some of the soldiers get paid in Russia. That is true. But initially, you have to go serve 1 year for free as a mandatory soldier. I don't know how to say that in English, like as a conscript or something like that. And only after that you can keep serving for money. But the beginning of it is like mandatory for every single man. Yeah. There's actually a very interesting video about how Russian army works and how foreign army works in comparison to Russian. I think Varlamov did it, Ilya Varlamov, a Russian blogger, and there are a couple of more videos on this subject. It's actually really interesting, but I can't talk much about that simply because I have no experience. Myself, I didn't go to army. I spent most of my adult life living abroad, and I came back to Russia just recently, like 2 years ago, not serving to army. Yay. Inside Russia and friends, gotta go, see you soon. Yay, Konstantin, thank you for coming over here. Oh, what's up with my eye? Thank you for coming over here and clarifying some stuff. Waiting for your email, if you have any ideas for a video. See ya. Leatherman, if YouTube gets banned. I don't think YouTube will get banned like entirely. Maybe if Russia bans it, I'll be able to use VPN to reach you guys, so it's all right. Okay, next question is, did you all have to wear uniforms in schools? And the answer is no. It was not obligatory to wear uniforms, although some schools, maybe schools that had a higher level, they tried to look like they are better than others, in my opinion, and they had some kind of uniforms. Never in my school, like literally. If that was cold, I had just clothes to keep myself warm and go to school, and sometimes it was like minus 30 degrees Celsius in winter in my hometown. When it was hot, I could wear shorts and a t-shirt to go to school. So it's like no really dress code, no uniform. That was all right. All right. By the way, guys, check out. Wait, how to do that? Check out how beautiful this sunset is, mate. Really nice. Really nice. All right. Next question. How was the dating life as a teenager in Russia? I don't know. Honestly, like, subjectively, I don't know, because I didn't date anyone when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. The first girl I ever dated, it happened after I graduated from high school, and even after my first grade of university. So, don't know. Okay, next question. My daughter loves the show Masha and the Bear on Netflix. Is it popular there? Yes, it's extremely popular in Russia. A lot of kids watch it. My cousins, my nephews, they actually watch it too. So it's like, I watch it myself too sometimes when I was younger. I like it. It's quite nice show. Did you like school? What did you want to be when you grow up? The school was okay. I didn't want to become anyone. My life was going pretty neutral. Yeah, pretty neutral. It was no ups and downs. Yeah, I was quite stable emotionally, I think. And I didn't want to become anyone. I didn't have a bigger dream. And only when I turned 25, I actually got a bigger dream. Can you imagine? 2 years ago, I got my first real dream. Before, I didn't dream about anything. So it's like something personally. It's of course very subjectively, but anyways. What video games did you play then and now? A question from the chat. I played Lineage 2. I played Dota 1 and Dota 2. And I played a lot of Counter-Strike. And also Warcraft 3. And also Heroes of Might and Magic. Even right now, I play Heroes of Might and Magic a lot online with just random people, and that's fun. Well, by the way, UG Day, thank you so much for your support. It's $10. It's a lot in Russia right now. As someone studying Russian, would you recommend any good books, authors, blogs? Love your videos. Всего хорошего from Ural. I'm sorry, I cannot recommend much about like stuff in Russian, because most of things I read, I watch, I consume is not Russian. Like, there are no really good Russian TV shows, with a few exceptions that I can't remember. talking about books, I might recommend you a book 12 Chairs. That's actually very fun, and it's like quite old. It's not Russian classics, but anyway, it was written in Soviet Union time. Um, 12 Chairs. It will be my only recommendation. Just one of few books in Russia that I actually like. Yeah, thank you so much for your support. Um, Austin, Austin, thank you so much for your super thanks. Another $10 from USA. Love from the USA, bro. People need to know that not everyone in a country supports their leaders. Exactly. Keep up the work, the good work. Thank you so much, Austin. I'm here to actually talk to you guys to show that, like, what some of Russian people, what young Russian people are. So I'm just here. All right. I do have a little bit more questions from my Instagram. I think like 2 or 3 more, and then I'll pay more attention to the chat. And wow, we already were having a chat for like 45 minutes here. That's cool. By the way, 1,000 people. Hello from St. Petersburg, Russia. When are you doing the interview with Inside Russia? I don't know. In a few weeks, in a few days. One day we will just do that. We have mad respect for you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Next question is, growing up, did you see any racism in Russia? No. I actually didn't understand the concept of racism before I started traveling and talking to people who experienced it. I think the very first time I met somebody who experienced some racism in their life when I was like 21, 22 years old. Since then, I actually understood that the problem behind the racism is bigger than I could think while staying in Russia. Simply because I didn't face any racism around me when I was growing up. Not about me personally, not about people around me. Yeah. Were you able to learn properly another language like English in school? No. Most of people were not able to learn English or any other language properly. Although every single student, or maybe 99% of students, they learned a language. English is very popular even right now. German and French, 2 other popular languages in Russian schools, although much less popular than English, and Chinese is being taught in some schools. But the thing is, the quality of language education is terrible in Russia. I can speak English not because of my teachers. None of my teachers actually did any great efforts to make me able to speak it. Like, I learned English because of traveling, because I talk to people, not because of my teachers. Alright, so yes, Russians learn it. Yes, we have a lot of people who can speak it well, or at least somehow, but at schools, nah, it's like not a good education for languages. What is schooling like in Russia? Coming from a teacher. So schooling in Russia, really briefly. When I was a kid, I started my school day at 8:30 a.m. I usually had 5 or 6 classes, 45 minutes each, or 40 minutes each, I actually can't remember right now. It's like sometimes some schools have 45, sometimes it's 40 minutes each. 10-minute break between classes, sometimes 5-minute break, and a longer break for going for a lunch. It's like 20 minutes, usually happening at 12 o'clock. So you study from 8:30, you have your lunch at 12 o'clock to 12:20, and then you have 2 more classes. And basically then you leave home and do some homework for like 1 hour, 2 hours, sometimes even 10 minutes, and then you're free. That's the kind of school life I had in Russia, in my Siberian hometown. Teachers, I guess teaching experience is very different in Russia and wherever this person who asked this question is from. But yeah, it was like just like this. Next question is, was life better in the 2000s than it is today? And I think yes and no. I think back then Russian people had a hope that we are going into the brighter future, into the better future. And in terms of having this hope, that time was better. In terms of comfort, the level of income, maybe it's more or less the same. Maybe it's even better right now for some people, or it was better for other people by that time. It's like very subjective. For me, it's better now, obviously. And in terms of having a hope for better future, right now we don't have that. Like, I don't have hope for like having any big differences, any big good changes. In terms of hope, that time, like 20 years ago, it was much better. I think that is the last question we have is what kind of music did you listen to during that time, during childhood, any specific bands? And I didn't have any favorites. I think that is an interesting thing to mention personally about me. I don't have any favorite things too much. Like, I don't have favorite songs or bands. I don't have favorite books. I don't have favorite musicians. I don't have favorite people, basically. No favorite series, no favorite TV shows. There are a lot of things that I like, but I wouldn't choose it as let's say top one or top three. I also don't have any role models. I don't have people that I want to meet or want to become in the future. So maybe it's like just a part of my personality. So I cannot answer this question well. Well, guys, that is all these Instagram questions. Now we have some time to actually talk and communicate in the live chat. Whew, that was long 50 minutes. I enjoyed it so much. Let me know if you enjoyed this live so far. I'm actually gonna create a poll. And are you guys enjoying this live so far? Yes and no. Let's see. Let's ask you community. Oh, that was good tea. Sorry for this, a little bit ASMR part. XM, oh, nice to see you back here. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your live stream, Niki. Please keep them up. Keeping them up. Today is a Monday, a little bit unusual day for me for going live. I usually would go on Saturday or Friday or Sunday, but I felt like going to talk about these childhood things today, a little bit about the time I grew up, how was that. After watching Roman's No Fuckers video, it's like it got me really inspired to talk about this. I don't think I go too much into sharing like very controversial opinions or talking this stuff because it's harder for me to talk about this spontaneously. But I do share a lot of little details, and I hope that's interesting for you. I actually see that 97% say they enjoy the live so far. Thank you so much, guys, for your opinion. What tea do you drink? That is honey tea, Greenfield. Is that kind of British tea, as I believe? All right. So let's have a look to the chat. What do people say? Благодарю вас, Niki. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you. Never lose hope. Take care of yourself. I never lose hope for my own future or my own reality. Also, reality of my friends. I'm very positive about it. This time, a year ago, 10 years ago, I'm a very positive person. But I'm also realistic about where my country is going. And I don't have much positivity about that. You need B vitamins. Do you have enough vitamins? Yeah, actually, Lisa helps me a lot with vitamins. She buys some basic stuff for me and basically takes care of me in terms of getting nutrition and so on. It's really nice. Any weight loss tips, Niki, from Dazi P? Yeah, I do. I was like 100 kg before, now I'm 67. I didn't try to lose weight. I simply traveled. Traveling a lot makes you move a lot, makes you think a lot and spend energy a lot. So if you find time to travel, you'll lose weight. It's not suitable for every single person, but maybe for somebody it will be like an inspiration to start traveling. Yeah, and do more exercise. The basic principle of losing weight is to consume less energy rather than you spend. Spend more energy, consume less energy, and you'll be losing weight. I always lose weight when I travel, from Likas. Yes, me too. Niki, you look very healthy. Thank you, Diana. I'm alright, I'm feeling healthy. Like, I'm feeling alright. Sorry, Miss Zipol. Yes, for me. That's alright. Keep moving. Exactly. Constantine just wants money donation, so you don't trust him. Why do you think so, Mark? Like, money donation is the thing that YouTubers do and have during the live streams, but I think I could say that none of us, or at least I judge on myself. I judge on myself, of course, very subjectively, but judging on myself, I would say that other Russian bloggers, just simply other bloggers, we do live streams, we do communicate with you guys, we do upload videos, not just for money. It's something that we like doing, it's something that we treat as a hobby that makes us actually afford a living. It's a wonderful thing of 21st century. So yeah, same for me. Ronica, same for me. Like, I obviously enjoy seeing the fact that some people support me financially. That is really good thing for me. But even if I had no monetization on this channel, I would simply do the same as I do right now. Yeah. Ranika asks, who is Lisa? Hi Ranika, you are a new one here. Welcome to the community. So basically, Lisa is my girlfriend. She's also a Russian person. We stay here, we live here in St. Petersburg. And from time to time she appears in my videos, so you might see her later or in a previous upload. What will you do if they shut down all internet? I will use VPNs because I don't think it's possible to shut down internet physically, like cut Russia from the rest of the world. It's possible physically, like technically it's possible, but I don't think it will ever happen. And if Russia blocks everything, I'll use VPN. I used to live in China for 5 years in China. That is like, you heard about Great Chinese Firewall, right? Firewall. And I simply used VPNs to reach YouTube, Facebook, and any other websites that are not available in China. I expect to have the same thing here in Russia. Yeah. Diane says, I'm an old lady of 62. We thought our generation will change the world. Sadly, we changed the world, but not for the better. The big great ideas we were taught in colleges have been an utter failure. Sorry to hear such words. It's like, I think every single generation might think about this, like we are gonna change the world and so on. Maybe. Actually, today I had a conversation with my friend who left Russia right today. He was flying to basically live in Russia because of all this madness. And we were talking about our generation, about generation of our parents, and about the next generation. And we agreed, at least I agreed with myself, saying that perhaps our parents and grandparents, they were taught to see, they were able to see only TV and newspapers, only government point of view, and by no chance they had an opportunity to stay out of brainwashing. Me, my generation, people of a little bit younger than me, we have an opportunity to actually do some critical thinking and use internet to read different sources. And generation after us, most likely they'll have even better conditions for being like better critical thinkers. Hopefully. Yeah. I'm looking for any questions. Oh, it's Thomas Pelfanger saying in Chinese, 你好，你在中国住了5年，那么你会说中文吗？ By the way, Thomas, you mispronounced one word. Drew, it should be different. My pronunciation is not the best, but yeah, I can speak Chinese. I was able to learn Chinese, and by the way, it's not because I was a good student at school. At Russian schools, we actually don't have that good education on languages. I'm afraid that this is dangerous for you, from Sarah. If you mean going live or uploading videos is dangerous for me, it's actually not that dangerous in my opinion right now. but only because I don't say everything what I have in my head. If I feel something is not convenient for me to say, I just don't say that. So if I say everything, every single thing I have in my mind, yes, it will be dangerous for me upload or go live. Wow, your Chinese is good, thank you. I appreciate. Well, I see a lot of personal questions not related to these video topics about like childhood and so on. That's all right. Next, maybe 10, 15 minutes. No, next 5 minutes I'm gonna talk a little bit more about me personally, and then I'll finish the live. Before that, guys, I want to say thank you for being here, being with me. You are such a great audience. You're such a great community. I really enjoy seeing all the nice words coming in the comments, coming in the live chat, coming to my email. I'm happy to have that. I also want to say thank you to my moderator team. Like right now we have 2 moderators in the chat. Basically, the only thing they do is keeping the chat friendly and deleting and timing out any trolls and keyboard warriors. And I'm really grateful that I do have these 2 people to help me, because with moderator help I'm actually able to look to the chat and see what you guys write. That's very good. So really quick questions before I'm over with the stream. Do you have any siblings? Yes, I do. I have a brother. He is 2 years old, 3 years old, 2 years old. I'm sorry, I'm actually very bad at communicating with my family from that side. I have a sister who is 10 years younger than me. I have a brother who is 18 or 17 years younger than me. And I have a brother that is like 25 years younger than me. So basically I have 3 siblings. Because of this time difference and because of some like family tensions, I don't communicate well with them. I don't really talk much. Yeah. What country do you hope to visit next? I hope to visit China. I hope to visit China because I really love there. I enjoy traveling there, and I have so many friends living in China. I miss them and I want to go there next and then travel the world. My dream is to travel the world, basically. Manuel Fernandez, thank you so much for 20 euro donation. It's so huge in Russia, like literally. Hello from Spain, I like your work, Niki, keep it up. Also a fan of Heroes of Might and Magic here. Wow, Manuel, if you play Hota in online lobby, just give me an email, we can play together. Yeah. Eika, thank you so much. Cheers from Finland. Cheers, Eika from St. Petersburg, Russia. Morpheus, thank you so much for your support. Morpheus says, do you think that really most of your generation in Russia are escaping the propaganda bubble? Or just a well-educated, possibly English-speaking minority escapes that? I think it's not only well-educated, possibly English-speaking minority. Maybe more people avoid propaganda bubble or brainwashing bubble, but it's not that great. I wouldn't say that the majority of younger generations. There are a lot of young people who actually live in remote towns and villages, basically in smaller towns, and even in Moscow and St. Petersburg, who still are subjects to propaganda. And actually, I think I myself personally brainwashed too, in a way. Maybe deep inside me there's something that was put not by my own intentions. It's like every single one of us, I guess, has something like that. ZTIR, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much. I have no idea what is like 200 Swedish crowns, I guess, but it looks like a lot. Igor Lebedev, appreciate your support too. Like, guys, super thanks for your super thanks. Appreciate. Holy, we can't read the chat. Yeah, that's a lot of questions from the chat. Please answer questions about YouTube money. Are you getting it? Is there the best way to support you? Auburn, yes, I'm getting money from YouTube. Every single donation you see me getting on this chat, I'm going to get it. But YouTube pays only by the end of the next month. So for example, if Louis Cobian sent me 100 of Swedish kronas today, I'm going to receive it in the end of May. It's alright, it's alright. Still, I'll be able to receive it. Same goes for YouTube ad revenue. Everything that I, let's say, earn from my views on April, I'll receive it by the end of March, or by the end of May. So yeah, YouTube is a good way. They take quite a huge commission, a fee or what percentage, but it's actually the best way possible right now. Cryptocurrency is also a good way, but YouTube is easier, I guess. Louis says, Heroes of Might and Magic 3 or 4? I love 3. Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Hero Hota, Horn of the Abyss. I love playing that. Thank you, Louis. Roger, thank you too. There is a difference between brainwashing and conditioning. We are all subject to the latter by default. Yeah. Did you have pets growing up? Yeah. Pets, I had 2 cats. Right now, I still have 1 cat alive. He is like 14 years old, I think, maybe 13, maybe 15, I can't remember. But he's still alive, staying at my old apartment, my mom's apartment in Omsk City. I'm going to go there one day and I'm going to give him some care. Yeah. Do people in Russia watch anime? Yes. Anime is extremely popular in Russia, especially among young people. Lisa, she loves anime too, and she actually showed me a few titles. Recently I watched Attack on Titan, I loved it. Recently I watched The Death Note, I liked it. And I watched a few other titles and I didn't really like that. Keep safe, friend. Thank you, Morbid. Thank you so much. Thank you. Cats rule. I also like dogs. Interesting question from Simon. Which other channels do you watch? So, I don't know what you ask about TV or YouTube, but I'll answer about YouTube. I watched quite a few Russian YouTubers who create content for Russians. The best one, in my opinion, is Varlamov, Ilya Varlamov. He actually started his his English channel recently. I think I'll talk more about that next week, or maybe this week. And I also watch Ellie from Russia. I like her videos, it's very good. Sometimes I watch Roman No Fuckers. His videos are... I like how he picks topics to talk about. And a bunch of others, of course. From international YouTube, I watch Mr. Beast every single video. He's doing a great job at actually creating content and helping the world to become a better place. He is great about that. Maurizio, thank you so much. Thank you. You're a good guy, just a small amount to support you and your channel. Love from Milan, Italy. Thank you, Maurizio. I really appreciate your support. Thank you. GZ, stay safe, friend. Get some snacks. Appreciate, mate. For 5 Canadian bucks, I can get quite a few snacks and a cup of coffee. That's really good. Russia is not 420 friendly. Yes, it's not that friendly. You understand what I mean, right? It's like, if you ever travel Russia, don't smoke here. Although, maybe you'll get away with that, but don't. Richard, did you ever watch Booba? What is that? I don't know. I don't know what is that, so most likely I haven't watched that. Richard, thank you so much for your support. What do you study? Are you in a university? So I was studying at a regular high school, at a regular middle school, and a regular primary school that was all together. In Russia, we call it medium educational school or something like that. The meaning is similar. And it is a school where you go from grade 1 to grade 11 from all the stages. I went to one school, I never changed it, 11 years of my life. Then I was studying at my hometown university for political science major, and I quit it. I didn't finish my major. After one moment, I was actually doing my summer practice on the second year, on my second grade of political science major, and I was going to attend elections, our Duma, our parliament elections. And I was very naive about the stuff. I didn't really believe that what people say about the current political situation is kind of true. But then I saw how it works in real. Then I saw how votes are being counted how dirty it is. And I basically studied for like half a year more after that, and I quit my university. Since then, I didn't finish any university, any major. Rene, thank you so much from Chile. Rene, thank you. Solidarity from a Chilean Marxist. I watch 1420. Yes, 1420 is actually a nice channel. It's like the voice of people. I like how the guy makes the street interviews. Really interesting. Who was your best teacher? Life and traveling. My best teacher was traveling. I've traveled to like 15 countries, 16 countries. It's quite a lot, I think. Although it's very little for me, I want to travel much, much more places. And traveling every single time was my best teacher. I, I'm able to speak English, I'm able to speak Chinese, I'm able to know different cultures and to understand people more because of traveling. I started making videos because of traveling and so on. So it's like literally my best teacher. Yeah, Reno, thank you so much. 27-year-old says, was very naive. Lol, that doesn't go away till you're much older. Yeah, I'm still very naive about many things. I think that majority of people are good. I think that people care about people, and there are quite a few things that might sound very naive that's still in my head. Yeah, university is life. What countries have you visited? Mostly Asia. I traveled a lot around Asia, and only European country I visited was Bulgaria and Serbia, no others. My favorite is China and Thailand and Hong Kong. Wow, so we are in this life already for 1 hour and 10 minutes. That window was bright when we were starting. Now that is so dark, it's evening time, and I'm actually going to finish the live in a couple of minutes. I want to say, guys, thank you for being with me. If you haven't subscribed yet, go subscribe right now so you will not miss any lives and any video uploads from me. Like this video too, and if you want to say anything, go say that in the comments after I finish this video. Yeah. Thank you very much, Niki. Thank you, Simon. Appreciate. Thai food is my favorite. I would like to visit there someday. Yes, Angel, I love Thai food, and I sometimes also get Thai food here in St. Petersburg. Respect to you. Keep safe. Thank you, Night Whisper. Appreciate. Keep your chin up, kiddo. I cannot keep my chin up when I look to the chat. You know, it's literally I have to watch like this so it goes down. But basically, in my normal life, it's very up every single time. Thank you for being yourself. I appreciate your attitude and values. Thank you, Peter. I will finish this live talking about this. I think it's important when people are just being people. I don't try to be a different person in my videos or in my live streams. Of course, sometimes I get some extra preparation to my videos, but still, I am, who you see in these videos. And I really appreciate the fact that I'm able to go just be myself online and deliver my ideas from one side and to afford living on another side. It's really good feeling. Well, guys, thank you for being here. See the last Igor Lebedev, thank you. Well, guys, subscribe to this channel, like this video, have a good night, have a good day, and see you next time. Пока from Russia. That sounded like really Russian accent.